If you're watching this video, you're most likely a window tint shop owner and you're running into your business plateauing, dealing with slow months, wondering where your next job is coming from, or having to get your business through manual efforts such as door to door, passing out flyers, business cards, if you're relying on word of mouth, organic SEO, things like that. I'm gonna break down why that's a thing of the past and why only businesses that are 30, 50 years old only do that now, and how to basically squash them by being able to shortcut that entire time frame by leveraging paid ads. So if you're running any sort of manual labor, such as going door to door, passing out business cards, granted, that's a really good way to get started if you don't have any money. If you're doing $5,000 a month from your efforts of going door to door, passing out business cards, building up your clientele, I would 100% recommend switching over to paid ads, because what paid ads essentially allow you to do is allow you to essentially get back your time. Because if you're doing manual efforts to get business, you have to put time and effort into it, versus whenever you're running paid ads, you're leveraging your money rather than your time. You're leveraging your money to do all the work for you. Basically, whenever you're running paid ads on platforms such as Meta and Google, which what we run ourselves within our agency, we run Google and Meta ads for all of our clients. Basically, what that allows you to do is have, in a sense, infinite scale. Because at the end of the day, good marketing works, and if you know what to do and the right levers to pull on the back end of these platforms, you essentially have infinite scale. Why do you think, if you have the mindset of, oh, I've tried paid ads don't work for me, it doesn't work, I've worked with another agency before, it didn't work out, they wasted my money. So why do you think platforms like Google, for example, get paid $264 billion by advertisers running ads on their platform? And Facebook, for example, generating $160 billion of advertising dollars, people that are paying them to run ads on their platform, is because attention is the new currency. If you're not able to grab attention and be able to convert that, you're screwed. Like, whenever you are doing any sort of manual outreach, you're doing one-to-one, versus whenever you're doing paid traffic, in a sense, you're leveraging your dollars for the reach. So you can spend $20 and reach 1,000 people. So whenever you have the right marketing, the right ads, the right offer in place, you essentially have unlimited scale. Now, I'm gonna break down both platforms, Meta and Google, why they're both good and the pros and cons to each. So starting off with Meta, Meta by far is way easier to get results with in a quick time frame. Meta, even off of $20 a day, you can get really good results. Now, it really depends on the market that you're in, but generally what we see is anywhere from $1 to $3 cost per lead for window tint. Now, if we're hypothetically, we're doing a $200 carbon sides and back package, and we generate leads for $1.50, and we're spending $20 a day. That can range from 10 to 15 leads per day. Now, on Meta leads, for example, your conversion rate is going to be lower than Google, but if your sales are good and you're not terrible at talking to people, your conversion rate on the low end could be at 10%, which is atrocious. That's basically 10% of people will buy it regardless of whatever the fuck you say. And then you can do upwards of 30% conversion rate on Meta leads. So if we're generating, let's say for simple numbers, we're generating 10 leads a day. On the low end, that's one job. On the higher end, that's 3 jobs. And if you're charging $200 per job, you can make $200 off of $20 worth of ad spend, which is still a really good return. That's a 10x return. We see anywhere from a 20 to 25x return on our marketing on Meta and Google. So the good thing with Meta is you're essentially interrupting people's feed. It's a passive approach. So making sure you are able to create really good creative to catch attention and keep it, and have them ultimately click and submit their information. That's the entire goal of running these ads on Meta, to generate leads. The intent of these leads is going to be much lower because, for example, on Google, people are actively typing in window tint near me, high quality window tint near me, for example, versus Meta, we're essentially interrupting their feed with an offer. We're incorporating scarcity, urgency, adding additional bonuses to it, just to really sweeten the deal, to make it seem like they're going to be missing out if they skip or scroll over the ad, or we target a specific pain point that they have, and provide a solution to that pain point. So essentially with Meta ads specifically, people are seeing your ad once, and seeing it again and again. So that's why with Meta specifically, usually you deal with ad fatigue, because people see the ad, they'll scroll past it, and Meta will continue to serve it, and show them again, even though they may not convert. But with Google, for example, you're bidding on keywords, specific keywords, long tail keywords. Each day you basically get a fresh batch of people. So people have never seen it before, nothing. Google is very consistent, very good, but it takes longer to set up, around 30 to 60 days to get fully running, and optimized. Now, really just depends on your area. Sometimes you can get leads very, very quickly, but usually it takes time for, yes, you can have winning keywords, but it does take time to optimize towards those winning keywords and find the ones that are kind of sleeper keywords. So that's why it takes so long to get Google going. So what we do typically, whenever we get a client going, is we launch Meta and Google, but we put a hard push on Meta, making sure that's fully optimized first before we start rolling out Google. So with Google, you're essentially paying for search traffic. There's pros and cons to it. The pros are that the intent of the leads is very high, because these people are actively typing in their phone, searching for a solution to their problem, versus Facebook, where you're interrupting their feed with something that they weren't already interested in, basically creating interest. Google, the interest is already there. So the conversion rate usually for Google leads, obviously, if you're optimizing for high intent keywords, your conversion rate can be sometimes high as 80%, which is really good. Now, the volume of Google also depends. You're going to get lower volume usually, because less searches than actually showing your ad to 1,000 people each day with Meta. So you're relying on search traffic, so you are limited there. But the thing is, with Google, it is infinitely more scalable than Facebook, because think of Facebook as like this. As you begin to scale, it can go up and decline if you don't do it properly, because whenever you start scaling your ad spend, your ads fatigue a lot more quickly, because they're being shown to a lot more people, and the same people at a faster rate. So you're having to pump out more creative, have multiple different types of creative running at the same time to help mitigate this. So because with Google, all you have to do is just spend more to be able to reach the people and rank the highest for those specific keywords. Specific keywords, high intent keywords. And so Google, once it's set up and going well, it's very consistent. Meta, it can be very volatile. Some days with Meta, you'll get 0 leads for sometimes even a few days. But if on the third day you get 10 or 20 leads, it averages out. So with Meta, we always look at numbers on a 7-day period. Now, obviously, if an ad isn't performing, usually initially there's probably some issues. So it's good to always be split testing, which is what we always do. We're always split testing, make sure we're targeting different audiences, different variations within the creative, to make sure we're getting the highest cost per, the lowest cost per lead, and getting the highest return on your advertising dollar. Google, once it's optimized, the only thing you have to do with Google is essentially just turn up the spend, and that's pretty much it. So if you're interested in growing your business and you're relying on old ways that don't work anymore, now we're having kids that are literally coming into the industry and blowing people that have been in the game for 20, 30 plus years because they know what they're doing and they're working with people like me that know what they're doing on the back end of these platforms to generate these leads, generate these jobs, and scale their business to 20, 30, 50, and even $100,000 plus a month. Just having the right systems in place and knowing exactly what to do. So if you're running into an issue where your business is plateauing and you know you can scale, and you have the capacity to scale and you want to, what I want you to do is click the button down below and book a call with me, and I'll do an audit of your business and I'll show you exactly how our systems work both on Meta and Google, and ultimately just give you an audit to basically figure out what's going on in your business, figure out where the bottlenecks are, and see how you can remove it. There's not going to be any high pressure sales tactics or strategies or anything. Simple conversation just to see if it makes sense to work together. But regardless, you'll get value out of the call. So yeah, just click the link down below and I hope to speak to you soon.